service was today held for renowned archaeologist Lara Croft.
'Tis a sad day, Winston.
She will live on forever in our hearts.
Surely, Winston. And for this is but a memorial service. There may yet be news from Von Croy in Egypt.
Indeed, we can only hope and pray that she may yet return to us. But I fear Von Croy digging in the hopes of discovering her alive may only be met with black reality.
Indeed, indeed.
Today.
Hello and welcome to Tomb Raider Chronicles. Tomb Raider 5, basically. for my annual playthrough. Hey there, Tech. Welcome back to another stream. Hey there, Lynch Mob. How's things? Hey, Lizzie. Welcome back to another stream. Tech crowd goes crazy. Crazy. So if you leave it for a while, you get those different scenes and stuff with Lara as well. It's funny because not every single thing that they show in here is actually something you see in the game. Like, these aren't cutscenes from the game that they've just put into this title screen. This, for example, never happens with this guy here and Lara jumping on and knocking him out and stuff. He's actually an android as well. Yeah, Lizzie. Yeah, she just burned the enemy. Lara gave no fucks. If you were in her way and she wanted something, then it's like, bye-bye. Alright, so, not going to be doing like a special run, like not going to worry about getting secrets and stuff. There's a whole start part where you have like a tutorial area, but I'm not going to worry about that. Now this game, unlike the previous four, hoarding your weapons and medit packs, there's not a 100% point to doing it, because the game will, when you get to different sections of the story, will actually start you from scratch again. But I will still be, you know, very, very frugal and not spending much health and stuff. But there's not as many opportunities to have a big amount of ammo and stuff like there is in the previous four. Alright, so I think options the same. I've got everything set the same pretty much. High quality sound. My controller has the same buttons as it did for Last Revelation. Let's jump into it.
To the study, gentlemen, where we may pontificate over the day's disheartening events.
Indeed, my friend. Even the heavens cry out.
Ah, the Philosopher's Stone. One of Lara's early conquests, and one of her most challenging pursuits, if my memory serves me.
And Rome still bears the scars of that little episode.
Ah, she was never one for diplomacy, Lara. But she certainly knew how to paint the town red.
Well, god darn, ain't she just a picture?
Ah, the charming Mr. Larson. Has Pierre let you off the leash? Talking of which, where is our learned friend?
Oh, he's around. You got the cash?
I've got the cash, but I don't deal with the monkey.
Well, now that ain't polite for a lady. Even if the monkey has the Mercury Stone.
Lucky I'm in a generous mood. Ah, crawled out from under your rock, I see.
No need for unpleasantries, Miss Croft. I'm afraid I must, once again, relieve you of your burden.
Easy come, easy go.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Fucking Bronco, baby! We ain't gonna make that gap, boss.
We'll make it.
Ain't gonna.
We'll make it.
What did I tell you?
Mon Dieu!
take you somewhere with a turning staircase. Last you played. A turning staircase. There's one I know of in Angel of Darkness, but this particular one, there might also be a similar one that I'm just not remembering. Lizzie, she changes outfits really fast. Oh, absolutely. She sure does. You're not wrong there. So if you go to the left in here, there's like items to collect. But it's also a tutorial section. Lara will tell you what buttons do what and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to worry about that for this playthrough. Take, you could just be mistaken. Yeah, it might not be in this game after all. But yeah, there's a staircase in Angel of Darkness, the next one after this, where you open up the floor. I've actually died there sometimes because I've just had Lara go down and then it's like boom, 4 damage. Lizzie, but the items. Sorry, you love loot. That's definitely understandable. Yeah, if you've got a compulsion to get everything, collect everything, it's understandable. Dr. Darling, Medipack, waste of unlimited dual pistol ammo. It's like, what is this? Yeah, I was saying before, at the start of this stream, that in this game, the game doesn't let you hoard 50 Medipacks. Because when you get to different parts of the story, the game is like, we'll take all your ammo off you and all the health kits that you might have had. Tech, don't look down, Rod. 1 foot in front of the other. It's interesting with that new mechanic that they added to this game, because you would think you just line up on the rope and then just walk on it, but you have to actually press the action button so that Lara will do the animation for actually getting on it. I remember the first time I played this, I was like, I'll just run up on the and fell off. Oh no, Biko. Yeah, I wanted to do a short stream of this to start the playthrough and give myself a little bit of a head start. So it'll just be a short one, but it'll be a good amount of time to get some progress done. Whoop whoop, praise the Lord. Welcome back to another stream, Biko. This game is shorter than the other one, so I plan to try and finish it tomorrow. Just a quickie, you're a darling, don't mind quickies. Yeah, just a short stream.
Rodents, I wouldn't wonder. Big rodents.
Imbécile!
What?
Idiot! Idiot! What does the cowboy hope to achieve with this mindless firing?
Ain't mindless. Ain't we trying to kill her anymore then?
You were kicked in the head by a horse, we? So the brain doesn't work correctly?
How'd you know about that?
Never mind. Never mind. We wait until she collects the other pieces. In this fashion, we have the full price at no extra effort.
You is one clever cookie, boss.
Comparatively, yes. Come, let's get off this roof. And I will buy you a milkshake.
I like that, and I'll buy you a milkshake. Baker, what are you giggling at? What's wrong with the quickie lol? Short and sweet. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of innuendos that I pick up on, but I don't necessarily feel the same way about. Pardon me, Rod, what sort of plans do you have with Metal Gear Solid? You've wanted to see me play it for years now. You know Metal Gear Solid 4 is getting close to 20 years now, 3 or 4 more. Holy shit. Yeah, I know last year it celebrated its 25th, Metal Gear Solid 1. But if I do play that, it'll probably just be like a regular run. Like, it won't be any sort of like special sort of thing, because it has been a very long time since I saw it. I mean, since I played it. I mean... Yeah, Biko, it just must be freezing in that weather. Yeah, Lara's just like, I don't feel the cold. She's just like, ah, it's snowing. Time to wear shorts. Take PS5 just got a Pro model officially announced $700 last you saw USD. Yeah, that's like such a lot of money. Like that's gonna make it expensive in Australian dollars. I think it'd probably be, I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if it's $900 to be honest. But I'd have to check though. I'm just basically guessing for the Australian price. Biko, you're looking forward to winter so goddamn much this year, and next year though, you much prefer colder weather than heat. I don't blame you, Biko, I'm the same. I find it much easier to warm up when it's cold than it is to cool down when it's hot. Lizzie, you can't wait to start on AC Brotherhood. A friend really wants you to hurry up and play the Dark Souls series. Brotherhood is such a great game. I really do like what they added from Assassin's Creed 2 and things that they improved upon.
Come, Lara. We're all friends here.
Begging your pardon, ma'am, but if you'd like to put them pea shooters away.
Now, the second stone, if you please, Miss Croft.
Come get it.
It's a little too late in the evening for these games. Larson, search her, if you please.
Well, god darn if I don't get all the best jobs.
You want to try the back pockets?
Larson! Enough! Enough! My patience is exhausted with this childish nonsense. The stone, Miss Croft.
If you put this into that gate, Pierre, you're going to get a lot more than you bargained for. Trust me.
I'll put it in then.
That would be one of the stupidest moves you've made. And that's saying something. I think you'll appreciate.
A nice try as always, Miss Croft.
Wait for it. Don't say I didn't warn you.
What is it? What have we done?
In your usual flamboyant style, you have set in motion the next gate phase.
Next gate phase?
If my memory serves me, the gate has realigned itself. And if it does not receive 2 stones in the next few moments... If I was you, I'd grab your Cro-Magnon cowboy over there and run as fast as your little legs can carry you. Au revoir, mon cher.
I like that whole scenario. It's just so funny. Larson's like, oh god, if we don't get all the best jobs. And Lara's like, would you mind trying the back pockets? And then she knees him in the nuts. It's just so funny. Hey there, Babs. Welcome on in. How's things going for you? Rest in peace, Lara. Thank you for redeeming the rest in peace, Lara. Muchly appreciated. I'll make a save here, because at the moment, in this part, there's not really a whole lot of options for dying, so I'll just make a save here and then reload my previous save, because I've actually got some things that I could do here, like there's a height that I can do like a dive from. There's also water that I can have Lara drown in. There's no sort of like enemies, so I can't really do like a death by enemies kind of thing. But yeah, I've got like drowning or doing a dive and neck break. Indeed, Babs, it is splatting time. Dr. Darling Malaka, I am on fire! Because that's sarcasm. Oh yeah, I love sarcasm. Characters and stuff that have it and use it, I'm all there for it. Hey there, Bioshock, welcome on in. Such a great moment. Pierre and Larson, you know. So as far as I know, there's not too much of a discrepancy between Pierre, except Pierre kind of... This game makes it look like Pierre dies, but he doesn't actually, because this is supposed to take place, this part of the game we're playing in this Chronicles game right now, is supposed to be set before the events of the first Tomb Raider game, in which Larson and Pierre are very much alive, but both of them end up dying in that game. So, in this game, which is set before that one, we see Pierre, quote-unquote, fall to his death, but it shouldn't actually be him. He probably just fell and then ended up sliding down and got saved by a slope or something, I could imagine. Babs, you good, Rod? How are you going? Oh, that's excellent. That's good to hear. As for me, I'm doing well. Been having a good day. I finished the previous game and wanted to make a start on this one, so it's going really good. What would you prefer for the rest in peace, Babs? Would you prefer Lara to drown or neck break? Gladys? Oh damn, Lara grew some palm trees. Very quickly. They were just planted yesterday. A drown? Alright, no worries at all. We can definitely do that. If only Lighters that was actually if only that was actually possible. I wasn't expecting that to the end there. There must have been an animation they added for this game. Thanks for redeeming that. Rest in peace, Lara Babs. Lotus, wait, how would that work? Jump from the highest point into the pool and break her neck. Yeah, I mean, definitely in shallow water. You can definitely do it in shallow water. But it has to be low enough so that when Lara actually steps in the water, it would only be up to like her knees, you know. But any water that's taller than that, she'd actually be submerged in, so she'd survive the fall. Whereas, okay, that was funny from a Tata point of view to a booty squirming and dying. That is funny. It was funny, like right at the end there, going up to the surface, it was like dead, but then try and get that last bit of air. It was a weird death scene, that's true. Later, she was like, oh wait a minute, I'm supposed to be dead. For a split second there, I thought it was actually a glitch. I was going to go, what the hell? Lidus. Same, but it was funny though. And shenanigans aside, do you think you should be allowed to do developer commentating on Tomb Raider games would be funny and offensive at best? Man, you'll be like, nope, we deal with shenanigans all day, every day. Yeah, you know, do like create a channel that's just all about shenanigans. It's pretty much random as to when Lara will start to lose her balance and you have to correct. That word cracks you up. Lara's about to do Janet Jackson dance. On a tightrope. Yep. Be tricky. I couldn't do that stuff on a tightrope. Dr. Darling, you saw my message on Discord about the Star Wars Outlaws video. It's so funny. You can punch the stormtrooper with a metallic helmet. Lol. Good job, Ubisoft. Yeah, it's so funny. It reminded me, in the first Tomb Raider movie, there's a scene where Lara Croft is at her mansion and she's relaxing for the night by doing this kind of like trapezing on the inside of like the foyer area, where she's basically on this bungee rope and doing exercises and stuff. And the villains send an army, or his army there to actually infiltrate the mansion to get the artifact that she has. And basically she's punching out guys wearing full-on tactical helmets and all that kind of stuff. It kind of reminded me of that. But I was thinking that what they could have done in that game is have a bit of risk with taking out an enemy. So for example, if an enemy in Star Wars Outlaws didn't have a helmet on, you could sneak up, bang, punch them out, they're knocked out cold straight away. But if an enemy was helmeted, you could still take them out stealthily, but it was a longer process, thereby creating more of a risk. So it's kind of like, do you risk doing a stealth attack on the helmeted enemy by actually taking them out by doing like a removal of the helmet? Like I envision sort of like sneaking up and then from behind grabbing around the neck, pulling the helmet off, and then holding around the neck and putting them into a chokehold, which would take longer. So the risk of getting detected would be higher, but it would be a little bit kind of like a bit of a challenge, something like that. So that's what I would have done if I was doing that game. I would have made it that helmeted enemies could be taken out silently, but it would take longer and the animation would be different than just going up to a non-helmeted enemy and just going and knocking them out kind of thing. I remember being told about that tech, actually, about having the power washer simulator you can clean Lara's mansion. Yeah, I haven't actually seen it in action, but someone had told me about that. I thought that was quite funny. By a shock, you clean it. After that, you can clean her training ground and motorcycle. Oh, that's really cool. That's cool that there's more than just, you know, one area of the place. That's cool. I wonder if there's any Easter eggs in there, like being able to trigger the music that she plays in her manor. Nice call, Tech. The mummy much? Oh yeah. In the previous game you had scarab beetles that were on the ground, like heaps of them. Dr. Darling, 5 rats. Plague Tale Requiem has 5 million! 5 million rats, that's true. Yeah, the Plague Tale games. Hey now, bro. Thank you for redeeming the random Assassin's Creed quote. Absolutely, Tech. It was always the wind. It was the wind all along. Who shot Mr. Burns? It was actually the wind. It wasn't Maggie. Okay, so I've got a quote. For years I've been rushing around, taking whatever I fancied, not giving a tinker's curse for those I hurt. Yet here I am, with riches and reputation, feeling no wiser than when I left home. Yet when I turn around and look at the course I've run, there's not a man or woman that I love left standing beside me. That's from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and that is Edward Kenway. Or Captain Pissoff, as he's also known as. There should be an emote there, but it's an emote that is actually not active at the moment. But that's the exact quote from Black Flag, where he refers to himself as Pissoff, Captain Pissoff. Tech, you casually start watching Arachnophobia, like Jaws, just real enough to be plausible. You know, I still have never actually seen that movie before, but I remember hearing a lot about it even growing up as well. But that's the kind of, pardon me, that's the kind of stuff that can be actually scary. Things that actually can happen to you in real life. Or could possibly. Tech, it's a must-see in your opinion? It definitely has a reputation, and I think I remember hearing people say that it was really, really freaky as well. Like 7 hours in, man, Twitch should crown you the hour champion. All your streams put in entertaining hours of content. Well, thank you very much for the kind words, like, and the feedback as well. I'm glad that you enjoy. That's awesome. Yeah, I do tend to like to do long streams, especially sometimes it's because there's just an enjoyment factor where it's like I'm just so sucked into the game, you know. And then also there's times where it's like I really would like to get a big chunk of gameplay done, and it really helps get through a lot of games because I like to play a variety, and I also have certain games where it's like I want to get it done before the year ends and stuff like that. So anytime I can do a heads start on games is good, you know. But I used to have a minimum 3 hour kind of like goal that I could stream as long as I wanted, as long as it was a minimum of 3 hours. I sort of did away with that, sorry, after a little bit. But I tend to like to do a decent sized stream anyway, as well. Even if it's not like, you know, 6 or 7 hours. Sometimes it's you know, just stream like 4 hours maybe. Dr. Darling, Rod is the only streamer you know that streams every day and never has breaks. Break day off. I do from time to time. Yeah, I definitely do from time to time. And I think anyone who's a streamer, like, it's always good to, if you feel like you need a day of not streaming, take it. You know, because it's your instincts telling you that you need a break, you know.
Come out wherever you are.
Heck, this ambushing ain't what it used to be.
Not when you're involved, no.
Practice makes perfect, I'm reckoning.
Whatever. We seem to be missing someone.
If you's talking about Frenchie, he's kinda indisposed.
And you thought you might just help yourself to his share of what's behind that gate? Unless, of course, this is just a social visit.
Well, you know I's always pleased to see a little belle like you, Laura. Be more pleased to see that last stone, though, if you'll be wanting to hand it over. That ain't supposed to happen.
Larson, behind you!
I may be a dumbass, but I ain't falling for that again.
No, really. Behind you!
Behind you! Behind you!
Damn it, I forgot in this game when you actually want to reload a save after you've been killed, it automatically keeps it on the new game, not on the load game like in the previous fucking game. Well, that fucking fight was annoying. Bio, he got what he deserved. This is true. Yeah, Larson is kind of like the person who sees an ant's nest, like a bull ant's nest, and is like, I'm gonna stick my hand in there. Dr. Darling, fatality. Hydra wins, fatality. That was for the NPC kill. Oh, that's all good, dude. Yeah, because I saw it pop up while I was doing that. And it was so funny because it wasn't long after that you put that in and it turned up in chat that I actually died from the Hydra that first time. The timing was so funny. Hey Arve, welcome on in. Tom Brader is going well. He went to Egypt in the last game and he almost died braiding the hair of Set. People still think that Tom Brader is actually dead. So in this game we're basically having a look at some of Tom Brader's previous braiding experiences before the events of the last game. It's going well, Arve. I finished the previous game earlier and wanted to make a start on this one. How's things? Like, yeah. It's like, that'd be a great idea. Bull Ant's Nest. Oh, wonderful stuff. Are they well then? Not good, you take it? Said in Hatham Kenway voice. Kenway! Now we're going to be able to fight against some real-life Roman gladiators that somehow survived all these years. Oh, that's just where a secret is. Okay. I'm not worried about getting secrets. Hey Octavius, welcome. I'm doing really good, thank you. Things are going well. How's things for you today? Are they doing good? Work today's been very chill, extremely different than yesterday's workday. Got off work about 40 minutes early, which was great. Right now you're going to continue Ghost of Tsushima replay while watching the journey of Tom the Braider. I'm glad to hear that you're going well, Ave. Also good that work has been chill. That's definitely what you want. Don't want any sort of like, overly busy work days where it's really stressful, and painstaking stuff. It's good to be able to get some chill days when you can as well. And getting off work early, like, that's definitely great, Especially too, if you have like a day off the next day, because you can technically just say that you're starting your day off, pretty much a lot of hours earlier. Octavius, you're going good? Chilling? Oh, nice. That's cool. I remember being 9 years old and literally bleeding on finishing this game. This one is shorter than some of the other ones before it, but there's definitely still some very, very tricky parts and some annoying bits as well. In some ways, like, this is a filler game, and it definitely feels like it at times. There's good things in it that I do like, but I also hate the last few levels that are in Von Croy Industries. I really didn't like that whole part, and the version of Zip that we have in this game compared to the one that we get later in Tomb Raider Legend and Underworld is just, I don't like this version of Zip that we get in this game. Not even Lara does, she gets annoyed at some of the stuff that he says and all that kind of stuff. But I do like Zip in Legend and Underworld. They did a much better job with him. They're still, tech characters, which is fine. But yeah, the first version of Zip that we see in this game is just really, really obnoxious and annoying. Nah, bro, either you found a bit of foreshadowing or happy accident AC2. Oh, cool. So what was that? What did you find? Lizzie, you're so stressed out right now. Yeah, I don't blame you. You definitely have a lot on your plate. That would be very stressful. Oh no, Octavius. No, I'm actually 40. I used to be. Used to be 33. All those centuries ago, it feels like sometimes. Octavius, I mean, you are millennial too, right? I think so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure anyway, because millennials, aren't they supposed to be the ones that were born between 1980 something and something else as well? It's funny, I hear different generation names so often, but I don't remember what the sort of like the starting of the birth year is until, onwards and stuff. But I don't know actually. Now, bro, when you're hunting Jacopo's co-conspirator, one of them was arrested before you can get him after being found in Constantinople, which is where Ezio ends up in Revelations. Oh! Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if I remember coming across that myself or not, but it's cool when you find out stuff like that as well. Lizzie, you plan on asking your parents if you can finally play your PS4? As for your playthrough of Dark Souls 1, you might do that for October. Well, that's definitely a good idea, yeah. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Dark Souls games or any From Software games yet. I do plan to do that at some point. Now, bro, never put two and two together from the dialogue. Yeah, it's crazy, like, little details like, just... because there's so much going on sometimes in the game that you don't really know until a replay. Tech, 1997. Oh, Octavius, yes, so millennials are 1981 to 1996. Yeah, I definitely would be then, in that case, if it's 1981 onwards. Tech, you were born in 98, so technically Gen Z. Thanks for the reminder. Thanks for the reminder, yeah. Lizzie, 1996 is the last year in the millennial generation, you believe? Oh, yeah. It's so funny. Like, I get it. You know, I get dividing generations into different things as well. But the funny thing is, and I find it doesn't matter what generation you are of, there's one thing that's the same with every single generation, and that is not everyone of a generation is going to be the same as everyone else in that generation, and not everything that one generation does is going to be seen as all good or all bad as well, you know, and so there's varying degrees of stuff like that. So yeah, it's like with you know, decades and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's going to be stuff that's similar, but there's going to be stuff that's different, and there's going to be things that people liked about the previous one, or their current one, or the next one, you know, and things like that. But I wonder how many generations they'll like, you know, the different names for each one. You know what I mean? Like, how long until they start to add new in front of the generation? It's like new millennials when it's like the year 3000 or something. When it gets that far, if humanity is still alive and the planet still actually exists, you know, in the year 3000. Tech, you were raised with 4 older siblings, so you got the full 90s experience. Oh, that's pretty cool, Tech. You know, that would have been like music and other forms of pop culture as well that you would have been experiencing too. There we go. It's a gladiator. What you doing here, mate, Russell Crowe? Eh? So Maximus isn't dead after all, eh? The two of your best friends are in their 50s and you feel like your parents are slightly worried. Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning before that Lizzie too, as well. But yeah. GG's millennials. Are they in the 80s and 70s? You know what? You wish you got to experience the damn 1500s. Sweden has very interesting history around that time. Just imagine having a time machine and being able to go into these different time periods and actually seeing what it was like first hand, you know, instead of like second, third hand and stuff like that. Take one thing you detest about Gen Z is the obsession with worn out things to the point of paying extra for destroyed clothing, faded clothing, dressing homeless. It's too much. What happened to suits and dresses for everybody? Yeah, that's the other thing too, you know, fashion changes and styles and also like ways of wearing things, you know, and it's funny what things go out of fashion but then come back a couple of decades later, or elements of it, you know. Absolution, thank you so much for leaving the lurk. Thank you very much. Speaking of history, did you see the video you posted in Listeners DC? It made you very emotional, very happy. Oh, not yet, no. I think I saw you tag me in something there, but I haven't actually checked it yet. Now, bro, you like the idea of visiting different eras, but when you think about it, being physically disabled, the previous eras wouldn't be too kind to you. Yeah, that's the other thing that's unfortunate, you know, with all that kind of stuff too, is things that weren't put in place back then that are in place now that really help a lot. And just, that's the thing too, like, being stuck in a period in time where that would be the case would just be, you know, so unfortunate as well, you know, like, just like, it'd be great to go back to some time periods, but then there's other considerations where it's like, well, you do realize that this thing wouldn't be working anymore. You know what I mean? Like, if you had your smartphone, like, your smartphone would probably be working in terms of, like, you've still got battery in it, obviously, but in terms of, like, if you went to the 1920s, there's no way you'd pick up Wi-Fi. You wouldn't be able to pick up Wi-Fi on your phone or anything like that. Any numbers that you would call, you know, you wouldn't get through, of course, obviously, stuff like that. But you think about medicine as well, things that aren't back in certain time periods that we have now, that wouldn't be there, and being stuck in that, like, yeah. What you hate about Gen Z is how damn ignorant too many of us are. You mean, if there is me, there are others, but you meet more ignorant Gen Z people than not ignorant. Well, the thing I find, is you're going to find that with any generation, really. Unfortunately, you know, it'd be great if there was generations where there was absolutely nothing negative, but I think it's something that's across all generations. Like, anyone of any generation can be an asshole to someone, but also people of other generations or whatever generation can also be good to people, you know. So I think on that basis about, you know, whether someone is good or bad to other people is definitely not exclusive, you know, to one generation or the other. Nah, bro, yeah, as far as back as the 70s, they would have put someone like you in an institution just in a room with no windows. And yeah, they honestly thought that was the best thing, you know, for people, and didn't have any sort of, like, if they did have an interest in curing them, it was more of a curiosity rather than an actual genuine wanting to, you know, help. Alright, so in this part you have to be quick. Once you pull on this, there'll actually be a timer. Not on screen, but it only gives you a short amount of time to get to where you need to. That's true, nah, bro. Every generation does have negatives, and being able to learn from things like that regardless as well. Like, I feel like there's something that everyone can learn, you know, no matter what age you are or what generation you're born into, and, you know, who your family is or whatnot. Taking annoyance with millennials is how they raise their kids. The overcorrection from tough love is palatable. Rotten children, shake your head. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is too, like, there's also, like, you could be the best parent that you could possibly be, and you could do the right thing, and you could treat your children right, and they live a very happy life growing up. But depending on their own choices, they can still ruin their own lives depending on what choices they make as well. But it can also happen the other way around, like parents can be total assholes to their children and treat them badly, and then when their children get old enough, they leave and go on their own and end up becoming really, you know, good people that then have their own children but don't treat their own children that way as well, you know. And so it can go either way. But it is unfortunate when there's sort of like things that go wrong like that, when people do the best that they can. Obviously there's people that don't care if they do the right thing or not by their children, but then there's also people who really do as well. And there's, you know, so many different ways of dealing with stuff as well. Hooperlanen, you hate this type of time trials. I don't blame you one bit at all. Especially too when there's like little tricky timings you need to get for jumps and all that kind of stuff as well, you know, and trying to get that sorted. Hey Sheila, welcome back. Back on a work break. How's the stream going? Oh, excellent, dude. I hope work is going well. Yeah, it's going good. I'm in Rome at the moment, and we've faced off against some gladiators that actually survived somehow all these centuries down here. But yeah, it's going good. Working out well. If I can get these Rome levels done in this stream, then that'll work out well. That'll be a good head start. Lizzie, sorry you told me that again. Your memory isn't that great, sadly. Oh, that's all good, Lizzie. That's no worries at all. Sometimes I'm like that too with things. I can't remember sometimes whether I've told someone something or not as well. Work is chill so far? Excellent, Sheila. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Hooperlanen? No. It's annoying too in that part where you just miss out on getting it because you missed time a jump, and then it starts to go down the pedestal, and then you have to go back to the chain and pull that again. Hello, Anemone. Welcome on in. How's it going? Hey there, Scar. How's things, dude?
An unfortunate situation, no?
I've had worse.
Indeed. This is a very deep pit, and in such a historic venue, I feel sure there may be valuable artifacts lurking in its depths.
I can't tempt you to jump down and look.
Well, this is my point. I feel you may be better qualified to examine its secret, unless you, perish the thought, expired in the fall. Perhaps if you lighten your load a little, it may lessen the impact. The stone you carry?
Wondered when you'd get to that. Pull me up, and the stone's yours.
And we all live happily ever after? I think not. Give me your word that once you leave the pit, you will not lay a finger on me.
You have my word.
The stone? Now, Miss Croft, you gave me your word. Come now, Lara. Lara, you promised!
Boo!
Could you find it in your heart to help me up? I appear to be slipping.
Pierre, you know nothing would please me more, but we have an agreement.
Agreement?
Not to lay a finger on you, remember, silly? Anyway, busy girl, got to go.
But I...
Don't let me hold you up.
Lara. She has no chill. She's just like, well, you said that the deal was that I wouldn't lay a hand on you. Well, she didn't. Anemoon, your half-little sister is born in 1996. Oh, okay. You're doing good, been chilling a lot? Oh, excellent. That's great to hear, Anemoon. Glad to hear that she's going good. Dr. Darling, and my sword, and my axe. Lizzie, and my bow. In the movie Army of Darkness, there's this scene where the main character, Ash, who's gone back in time to the year 1300 AD, and in the time of knights and stuff, basically bands them all together to fight against the Deadites. And one of the people in the crowd, played by Ted Raimi, when they're all saying, you know, I will join you, and Ted Raimi's character is like, you can count on my steel. Now, bro, does anyone else pickpocket the heralds after bribing them? Oh, yeah. That's quite funny to do, actually. There's also the game Deus Ex Human Revolution. There's this sort of like side quest, and you can give the guy bribe money, but then what you do is once you've done that and he's given you the information, you just basically can knock him out and then just loot the stuff off him. So it is funny in games when they do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know, right, Lizzie? Lara's just like, I'm just going to leave you to hang. The thing is, Pierre is fine though, because this actually takes place before the first game in the series, and he doesn't die until later on when he gets killed in Greece in Tomb Raider 1. So this event takes place beforehand. So he will survive the fall. He'll probably land on something and slide down. He might be injured, of course, like he might have broken a leg or something, but he'll be fine.
There's no right. There's no wrong. There's only popular opinion.
I guess. Thanks for redeeming that as a Bane impression, Dr. Darling. Take like Black Flag robbing all the antagonists for their coin. Oh yeah, that was actually really cool. I remember watching a video with Darby McDevitt, who is the lead writer on Black Flag, and he was talking about how initially that was something that wasn't intended for the player to be told about straight up. They ended up making it an optional objective, but Darby was hoping that they would not do something like that so that they could keep it a thing where it's like, which players would think to do that just on their own accord, you know, as opposed to the game giving you a hint and saying, hey, you can actually loot those enemies for the optional objective as well. I think it's kind of a shame that they added that. You know, they could have done something else for an optional objective, but yeah, it was quite a funny moment though, regardless. 5 billion people will die from a deadly virus in 1997. The survivors will abandon the surface of the planet. Once again, the animals will rule the world. Excerpts from interview with clinically diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, April 12, 1990. Baltimore County Hospital. Interesting, Dr. Darling. In 1997, eh? Well, we definitely went past that time period. Are they spoiler? He couldn't get his hair braided. He couldn't. Are they? No. If he had long hair and he got it braided, he could maybe use it as a hook and rope to climb back out of the about the hole there. Dr. Darling, both are from 12 Monkeys. Oh, sorry. I thought it was actually a documented real case of what someone had said. I was thinking 12 Monkeys though, because it was very familiar, but I thought, because you put the, excerpts from Interview with Clinically Diagnosed at the end there, that threw me off. W. McDavid is such a king, a truly phenomenal writer. Sure, there's been other good writers in the franchise, but none of them like Darby. Revelations and Black Flag truly are great. This is true, there's definitely been a lot of good writers of the series. Like Corey May was one of the writers for the first few games in the series. But the thing I like about Darby is he's really good at taking what already exists and still working with it and coming up with new stuff that matches and fits and doesn't ruin what came before. Like, sure, there might be some slight changes that have to be made to make things more smoothly connect to each other, but overall I think he's done such a great job since he first started working in the series to make sure that what he added went well with what had already existed before. I kind of don't know what to feel about Valhalla though, because I kind of feel like having to write optional dialogues is kind of like a bit of a sort of like contrived kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like without dialogue choices, the writer doesn't have to worry too much about creating alternate paths for the dialogue to take, where it's better to just have a narrative that is set in stone so that you know the story from start to the end, and it can all flow from one to the other, instead of being like, right, we have the story happening up to this point, now where do we want the story to go based on 5 different options that the player could choose, whereas if it's just like one thing from one to the next and it's already all written out, there's no optional dialogue and stuff, I feel it makes it better. Plus, I felt like there's a lot of filler stuff in that game's story as well. But even though Valhalla isn't the best, and you really do not like it, he did very good with what Ubisoft gave him. The Origins writer is also phenomenal. That's true, and that's the other thing as well. Like, you can write the best stuff, but obviously there's also other departments and other aspects of the game that can take precedent over it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that the writers think is great, but the level designers are like, well, that's great, but we need the level to be like this. And so the person writing has to sort of like adjust what they're writing to match that. So I'm sure a lot of that sort of stuff happens as well. Tech, you think you'll call it 10 a.m? Oh really, Tech? Well, you've been awake all night and until 10? Yeah, for Valhalla you really blame Ubisoft and not Darby. If Ubisoft made Valhalla more like Origins or previous AC games, you believe Darby could have written something truly memorable and great. This is true, and I feel like the sense of humor and comedy in a lot of the side quests in Odyssey set a precedent where it was like, in any other games that follow, the side quests have to be funny as well. And I feel like you can put funny quests in there, but not every single quest should be some comedic thing, That's why it's good when the writer is also the director, that gives the writer more say on things. Yeah, I mean, this is true. That also is a thing. Whoever has the most power and the final say and stuff. Tech, great discussion, Night Boy. See you later on. No worries at all, Tech. I really hope that you have a great rest. Thank you so much for being here and for chatting as well. Muchly appreciated. Would like to definitely recommend people check out Tech's channel if you haven't before. Tech has been doing Helldivers 2, so if you're a fan of that game and games like it, definitely recommend checking out Amateur Tech's channel. Oh, that's all good, Tech. No worries at all for the shout out. No worries, dude. I mean, not to mention the fact that the jokes weren't even funny. They were so damn Ubi Quebec, and that's the only laughable thing. Yeah, I mean, I found certain humor in stuff, but I kind of preferred the way that humor was done in Origins. You know, there's definitely funny stuff in Origins, but it's kind of balanced out. The Testicles and the shark was funny. That was funny. I'm a fan of slapstick, and that was really a funny scene, how he got killed by sharks. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Dr. Darling, I likes to be oiled. He's such a funny character. I like when he's like, yeah, you knows, and puts his finger on, well, if you're playing as Cassandra, it's Cassandra's nose. If you're playing as Alexius, it's his nose. They also like the sex-addicted guy. He was very funny. Alcibiades. That's him, are they? Yeah. Alcibiades. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's what he's thinking about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Come here, give us a hug. And then just steps out of the way, and then he runs off the pier and lands in the water. I didn't realise I didn't save again after this cutscene. Oh well. I can't skip it. We get to see Lara be a badass again.
An unfortunate
having no chill.
situation, no?
I've had worse.
Indeed, indeed. This is a very deep pit, and in this such a historic venue, I feel sure there may be valuable artifacts lurking in its depths.
I can't tempt you to jump down and look.
Well, this is my point. I feel you may be better qualified to examine its secret, unless you, perish the thought, expired in the fall. Perhaps if you lighten your load a little, it may lessen the impact. The stone you carry?
Wondered when you'd get to that. Pull me up, and the stone's yours.
And we all live happily ever after? I think not. Give me your word that once you leave the pit, you will not lay a finger on me.
You have my word.
The stone? Now, Miss Croft, you gave me your word. Come now, Lara. Lara, you promised.
Boo!
Could you find it in your heart to help me up? I appear to be slipping.
Pierre, you know nothing would please me more, but we have an agreement.
Agreement?
Not to lay a finger on you, remember, silly? Anyway, busy girl, got to go.
But I...
Don't let me hold you up.
Don't let me hold you up. Hang on, I'll save this time. But that guy sounds like Astarian, not gonna lie. Is that someone from Baldur's Gate 3, is it? Hey there, Sadie. Thank you so very much for the lurk while you're working. Muchly appreciated.
And so ended the first of many. I'm sure Miss Croft would be the first to apologize for her not entirely courteous behavior regarding some of the more delicate religious artifacts, Father Patrick.
No need, my friend. All in a good cause. At least we knew they were in secure hands. And fortunately, the church was above sending a bulletproof envoy to retrieve them.
Ah, but she recognized her place in the great scheme. Some things, as history has illustrated, best left to their slumber. I speak in riddles. I talk of the stricken wolf ship.
Ah, the U-boat episode. Miss Croft would never enlighten me as to the details. For my own protection, she would often stress.
Indeed, Winston. And for this you should be grateful. Deep in the bowels of their vessels lay one of the most powerful artifacts in all Christendom. An artifact which, when wielded at the vanguard of an army, would make that army invincible.
The Spear of Destiny.
But the boat never reached the fatherland with its precious cargo. It disappeared from radar 3 weeks into the journey. This was the resting place of the 52 seamen, and also something much more sinister. The Zapadnaya Litsa port, once the pride of the Russian fleet. Ex-KGB, the majority of them. Trained killers.
Dealt with mafioso before. Unpleasant memories. Prefer to avoid them whenever possible.
Yes, I would prefer this also.
Hardly a major search party, is it? There's something you're not telling me.
Ah, yes.
I'm a big girl now. Hit me with the bad news.
It is bad news. The Admiral's allegiance has been bought, and under his command, a nuclear submarine. It's housed in one of the dockyards.
Well done. Nuclear submarine. Sounds nice. Perfect holiday.
Lara, wait. Take this tracking device.
What's this? You're not worried about me.
Yes, somebody has to.
Touching. But don't wait up.
That's all good, Biko. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream as well, and that you found some solace in it. Thank you so much for being here, Biko. You have a good one. Catch you next time. This is actually where I'm going to end the stream. It was good to get those first 3 levels done, and in tomorrow's stream I'll work on getting the rest of the game finished. Lizzie, why are they talking like she's died or something? Yeah, so at the end of the previous game, Lara, for all intents and purposes, died, but because they wanted to make more Tomb Raider games still, they made it that in this game, her butler and a priest, and I think he's like some kind of military guy or archaeologist as well, all get together at the mansion to actually reminisce about some of her adventures. And so we're basically playing adventures that Lara went on before the events of the other games and all that kind of stuff. So at the moment, they think that she's dead. They don't know if she's alive or not. But spoiler alert, she is actually still alive, of course. But yeah, this game is sort of like a filler kind of game, because the team who had been doing all the games up until this point, instead of being put on the next gen Tomb Raider game, they were put on this game, and a new team was put on the next gen Tomb Raider title. And then when they finished this game, that team went to the other game, and apparently there were some things that had to be redone or something like that. So this game is pretty much like a bit of a filler kind of game. There's good things about it, there's bad things about it. I don't really like the last few levels and all that kind of stuff. And it's a shorter game as well, so it's not as long as the previous 4 games were. I mean, Bio, quit telling everyone that you're dead, lol. Yes, like, I'm not dead. I'm still alive. I'm happy. Would like to highly recommend people check out the following streamers: Absolution, who is doing Crisis Remastered; Amateur Tech, who is doing Helldivers 2; Inmeta, who is doing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order; Lighters, who's doing a lot of Mortal Kombat streams. He's a big fan of the Mortal Kombat series. Sadie has been doing Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Scar has been doing some Red Dead Redemption 2, and Shillerlock has been doing some of The Witcher 3. So definitely recommend checking out all those channels if you haven't before. So the next stream that you'll see from me will be this again, and for me it'll be Thursday, and this week Thursday is the last Tomb Raider stream day for the week, and then after that the next one won't be until Monday. But if you see me streaming this game again, then you know it's Thursday here in Australia. I just want to thank everyone so much for watching the stream. I really do appreciate it. It was good to get a bit of a head start on this playthrough. It'll probably still take me quite a few hours to get the rest of the game done, but I would like to get the game finished when it's Thursday, because then next Monday I can start Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness then. But this is the end of the stream. Thanks again everyone for watching, and catch you in the next one. Just going to see who is online. Alright, let's actually go and raid out to Gizlek. He's playing Star Wars Outlaws. Let's see what shenanigans in outer space Gizlek is getting up to. Let's see if we can see some funny glitches in that game, if there's any that are happening for him. Here's a general raid message that people can feel free to copy and paste. We'll also put one in for subscribers as well. Which is that one there. Oh, hey viewer. Oh, that's no worries at all for the stream. Thank you so much for all the lurking as well. That is muchly appreciated too. I really hope things are going well.